Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba, 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 ba. All right, live from the wasteland. Freedom Phil out here in the survival pod. And here's the topic. I had this thought. A liquid cooled refrigerator. Not like a refrigerant situation, like maybe half the year it uses the usual refrigerator system. But I'm out here just using water jugs during the winter. It was 30 degrees here last night. Actually, a few miles down the road, it was 27 degrees. So I was just thinking about it for a second, and I'm like, why couldn't you just do something that I'm already doing out here, except for I do it with water jugs, but do it with an actual automated system? And you're like, well, what do you mean? I'll explain. Freedom Phil like to subscribe. And yo, I always say turn up the video speed, because if I choose to upload, you should watch it at 1.75. Because watch video is faster. And not here to be your digital nanny. I don't mind if kids watch In All Truth, but it's not a kids channel. And I swear I cuss. And if your kids regurgitate something I said and you're pissed off about it, that's because you're a shitty parent. You don't know what your kids are watching. Be a good parent. And as far as my so-called, fans or followers, I flog you on a regular basis, and you still come back. And people are like, you're never going to build the channel. Well, let's be real about it. I was never going to build a big channel with this, because I talk about real things. I got a handful of people who know how to have a conversation, and then the rest of you are some grade of fucking low IQ, sub-Saharan retardation or robot. Like, you're 60 IQ motherfuckers. I don't give a shit what you guys think. So, yeah, Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. Let's get into this. I was thinking about refrigeration, man. And like a little fountain water pump takes I think something like 20 watts. You think about a small water pump. At night, it gets how cold wherever you're at. Now, some places you couldn't use water. Actually, maybe you could use salt water. That's a thought too. I mean, maybe you could just use coolant. And the question would be, if you definitely would do this not with a normal stand-up freezer or a fridge. I would just build in a refrigerator. But if you were to take a chest freezer, and I've heard about people in Australia doing this, they just get a chest freezer and they tweak the thermostat on it. And then instead of having it run at, freezing, it runs at refrigerator. And because it's a chest freezer design, it's got super thick walls. And when you open up your door on your fridge, all the cool pretty much falls out. It goes to the lowest place, which is out on the floor. So you're constantly have to reheat this more times people open and close it. So you would want to use a chest freezer design. But as is, around here in the wasteland, I just literally get up in the mornings. At night, I take out some 2-liter jugs out of my coolers, and then I let them sit out. And then it gets down to the 20s or 30s at night. And then I put the cooled jugs back into the coolers. Now, what if I could build an automated system that does this? In the evening, it would pump the current coolant out of a tank, and then basically cools off in the outside. And up north, where the Rocky Mountain house is, it's probably, down in the teens on average. Single digits to the teens. About 8 months of the year at night, I know it's cold enough to refrigerator temperatures. Let's say 7 to 8 months at night. It's easily refrigerator temperatures at night. So you could literally use the earth to cool a refrigerator system. So the water would get pumped out at night, get cold, whether it's coolant or water or whatever. Then in the morning, when it's the coolest time before the sun comes up, the switch flicks and lets the cool water go into the tank that's in the chest freezer design, chest design, cooler, freezer, refrigerator. And it's basically, instead of paying whatever cost your compressor's using and all that, for most of the year, that system would use about 25, maybe 30, who knows, maybe 50 watts twice a day to pump water here and there. The system is so simple that the fact that somebody hasn't done it blows my fucking mind. And I think about that. How much energy would you save in most of the fucking Canada? Canada would be great for this. How much energy would you save with that system? This is how you could build something. All you green technology people that talk about saving the world, save the planet. There's another one. A liquid-cooled refrigerator. Or most of the year, it would be self-cooling. And then I would take it a step further. I would build a shell around my refrigerator. I would set up my chest freezer refrigerator would have an earth shell. Like I would separate my heated kitchen from the whole place where the situation was. I'd keep it as low temp as possible. Almost kind of like if I had an earth shelter, I'd keep the refrigerator in kind of a root cellar style situation. That way it stays even colder, even longer for almost nothing. Like all I got going outside here is a couple coolers and I use the jugs. Just swap them out every day. And I never have to pay for ice. So for at least 6 to 8 months a year, you would have refrigeration, just not freezer. Like that freezer over there only uses like 30 to 40 watts. And I freeze ice packs. I got a whole ass ham in there and 10 pounds of chicken, some other shit. Some fried chicken I'm going to turn into like mac and cheese and ramen. That uses like 30 watts, 30 to 40 watts. But that liquid cooled system would basically use almost nothing. So, I mean, all these environmentalists always talking about building better technology, save the world and all that nonsense. Why aren't they talking about something that simple? And the answer is because most of them aren't environmentalists. They're just activists. They're not conservationists. Like, I know a lot of hunters that are conservationists because they want to take their kids out hunting someday. Like guys that like going out there and hunting snow geese, which, by the way, ever since modern farming showed up in America, snow geese populations have exploded. No shortage of snow geese to be hunted. That's part of the reason Nebraska is such an awesome state, by the way. When you're going through there, when you see the seasonal migration of birds, it is the craziest thing you'll see. You look up in the skies and it's like, wow, that's a lot of birds, brother. See like 50 deer in the early spring, like the first things that grow, when the first field starts getting a little green, they're like, oh, thank God, there's green food. We're starving. Crazy as shit, man. I often recommend that a lot of you go and see America. It's a beautiful place. But yeah, I know that design that I just thought up, you're talking 6 to 8 months of the year in most of America that you would have free refrigeration. By the way, you want to see something kind of crazy? Look up the Carthage Caves. They've got these giant refrigerator caves where once upon a time they mined these caves out for stone for building stuff. And so they took part of the Carthage Caves and they built cheese storage facilities. The caves stay about 50 degrees year round. That's part of the reason I tell people build earth shelters. Cheap heating, cheap cooling. It's not hard to figure out. Anyhow, this is Freedom Phil. Like, subscribe, take it easy. I'm going to upload this. Peace.